guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Mail. So for today, I got a very entertaining email I was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy. He is 46 years old, divorced. He is a father of a 21-year-old. He got married really young and had him, but obviously when the marriage didn't work out, he was done and swore he'd never get married again. Well, he's sharing his story, how recently technology, and more importantly his now ex-girlfriend's lack of knowledge of technology, helped save the day. You're going to see how he, over the last 16 years since his divorce, he'd have relationships here and there. He does enjoy hanging out with and obviously hooking up with good-looking girls, but they never went too far because he never wants to get married again. And recently, he got into a relationship with a gal that he really thought he had a good thing going, but you're going to see that she was completely just brain dead when it came to technology, and it definitely helped things out. And I thought it'd be a very good one to go over here because this guy is pretty darn funny the way he writes. How so important, guys, one, to pay attention to red flags. That's a no-brainer here. But also how it's in your interest to always keep up with technology. And if you have a girlfriend or wife who's not exactly proficient in technology, that can help you out. Because a lot of times I've covered stories where these wives and girlfriends are up to no good, and with their lack of knowledge of technology really helped out the guy. And you'll see exactly as I get into this. He says here, "Hi SSM. I want to thank you for all the great work that you've done on YouTube. I also want to thank you for building a kick-butt community. I swear reading the comments and interacting with the guys is just as entertaining as your videos." Well, bro, you're welcome, and thank you for watching. Yes, this is a great community, and the comments, they're just as good as the videos. Well, I thought it was high time that I share my own stories that will definitely give you guys a good laugh. Bear in mind, I got a whole lifetime of stories, but this is the most relevant. I thought you'd like it. Well, I'm 46 years old, divorced, and a father of a great 21-year-old son. I got married way too early to a woman who I definitely did not vet enough. To no surprise, by the time I was 30 years old, we were divorced, and I swore that I would never do that again. Well, obviously you stuck to that. Must have been a pretty bad divorce, or you woke up to reality. It's too bad other guys can't come to the same realization. That is a promise to myself that I have kept for the last 16 years. Well, in spite of how my first and only marriage turned out, I did get a great son. Both his mom and I worked hard to raise him right, even though he grew up in two different homes. While my ex certainly isn't perfect, she's been a good mom to him, and I will commend her for that. Well, that's good. The last thing your son needed was growing up two separate homes and a lot of drama from her. So given that I have already been married and divorced and got a great son out of it, there's been absolutely no need for me to get married ever again. That does not mean that girlfriends that I've had over the years haven't tried to get me to marry them, but I've always made it clear from the beginning. Good. Always make it clear. That way they can't say that you misled them, even though they're going to try to get you to marry them. Now that you have a summary of my backstory, I will begin my story in 2023 when I met Jessica. I couldn't resist. I've been divorced for over 13 years, 13 years, and have had a few girlfriends. I always made sure to inform them from the get-go that I wasn't interested in getting married ever again, as I had already gone down that road before and I have a son. I figured I wouldn't waste anybody's time. Naturally, this turned off many women, but some were divorced too and said they didn't want to get married either. That always turned out to be bullshit. Yep. They think I can change him. Nope, not this guy. So I have learned to enter every relationship with a bit of indifference and zero attachments and simply enjoy them until things run its course. I sometimes think my indifference and the challenge of changing me draws some of them in. Dude, absolutely. It's amazing the power of indifference when it comes to women because every other guy out there is trying so hard. And the better looking she is, the more most guys are trying so hard. When you're acting like, oh, whatever, drives them nuts. They got to chase you. And of course, by you saying you never get married again, they're probably like, okay, asshole, game on. Well, you have held true. Anyhow, I met Jessica on a dating app. He says, I know, smack, but they're easy. She was 33 at the time, and I 43. She's a high school art teacher and definitely a character. Oh, God. Every single art teacher I ever had, because art was a requirement in junior high and early in high school, they were definitely characters. That's the best way to describe it. She'd never been married and claimed to like her life. She was and is very good looking, and I'm sure many young guys at the school had their minds in the gutter. We clicked right away, as I too love art and frequent museums whenever I can. Trips to Paris always include me spending days at the Louvre. Well, not to waste your time, we dated for about a year and a half until D-Day. During this time, we had a lot of fun together. The SEX was great, and I never felt pressure to get married or anything like that. Well, that's good, but that's still a year and a half. Things can change. During the summer, she was off, and naturally we would spend more time together, travel, etc. And when school was back on, it was on the weekends. This honestly was one of the best relationships I had in many years, and honestly, I could see it going on for a long time. Hell, even my son liked her, and of course, had to mention that she was hot. Well, if your son's 21 and she was 33 when you started dating, so I'm guessing she's 34, 35 now. Yeah. Well, as much as I enjoyed her company, there were a couple of things about her that I should mention that was her undoing. Okay, here we go. And these definitely are good. Number one, she was very scatterbrained. Maybe this is an artist thing, but her mind definitely was in a million places at once and caused her to be forgetful and not always pay attention to everything around her. While you might say this was a test, I can honestly say that this is just how she was and how she was wired. This is important later. Number two, she was about as tech-savvy as a caveman. SSM, I know all the jokes about women and machines, but this woman definitely didn't know what the hell she was doing with anything. The only thing she could do is use her phone and various apps, hence how we met. Other than that, I swear I had to constantly show her how to do everything with her computer, car, etc. When her ancient TV finally died, it was a weekend event to teach her how to use the new flat screen TV and the different streaming services. More than once, I ended up going to her place at night to fix whatever glitch was going on with her TV. Okay, here we go. The not tech-savvy girlfriend. I mean, really bad. And, of course, scatterbrained. Well, back to the story. Well, this last Christmas, I decided to give her a gift of Ring cameras for her house along with the membership. She'd expressed worry sometimes living alone, and I thought this would be a perfect solution. Besides, I figured this was easier than having her try to get me to move in with her. Naturally, I thought this would be a good deed, and will certainly not go unpunished, but I was willing to deal with it to help her out. So I got a Black Friday deal on 4 Ring cameras and a membership and gave it to her on Christmas, along with a couple other gifts. Okay, so you're giving the complete non-tech savvy gal, you're hooking up Ring cameras at her house, which the way it works is it can go on her phone, she can have the app, get notifications when somebody's walking by the camera. I got them in my house, so I know this, guys. And be informed. The non-tech savvy gal, this is going to be good. Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished here. To no surprise, I got the deer in the headlights look from her about using those cameras, but I assured her that I would install them for her and teach her how to use them. This should be good. So I installed 3 of them outside and left 1 inside, which she could then position wherever she wanted to in the house. I then explained that she could watch the video cameras on her phone and receive notifications when somebody would walk by the cameras, etc. Once again, I got the deer in the headlights look from her, I got the app ready to go on her phone, and I showed her how to use it. I don't care if you show her how to use it. She's one of these people you could show her 15,000 times and she's still not going to figure it out. You know? Well, to my surprise, to no surprise, my tech-savvy genius girlfriend kept having problems. More thunder. This is like a daily occurrence now that we're getting close to spring. Good, we need rain here. She wanted the security and liked looking at her cat while she was gone, but the tech issues were never ending with her. She finally asked if I could put the app on my phone, and if there was an emergency, I could handle things. That's a serious invasion of privacy. I mean, she's telling you she wants you to do this, but what he means is, guys, is that you can have that app on different phones, to my knowledge. She has the app on her phone, and she can access the video footage and the storage of the recordings on her phone. And if he puts that on his phone and logs into her membership, he can see everything too. Hence, you can see a problem if somebody is scatterbrained enough to not realize the cameras are on and not tech-savvy enough. And, well, even if it's innocent or somebody's up to no good, you can see where this is going. Well, I made it clear to her that it'd be better if she just practiced with the app and learned it on her own, due to privacy issues. But she insisted, and I finally caved. So, I installed the app on my phone and connected her account. Now I could see everything that was going on from the cameras outside of her house and the camera inside her house. So I'm going to guess you probably were smart about this and you weren't, obviously notifications were going off on your phone. Maybe you disabled them, I don't know what, and weren't snooping on her, or on her camera when she's there or not there. But again, this is her idea. Well, I should mention that a few months earlier in September, a new teacher started at her high school. He was a gym teacher in his late 20s, who I will call John. More than once, she had mentioned him, and it was never good. She even showed me a picture of him with the other teachers. Newsflash, when a woman starts talking about a guy repeatedly, that's a sign. That's a red flag. Because oftentimes that could be the guy that she's replacing. She's replacing him with you. If in her mind you keep screwing up or something like that. Or when they claim they don't like a certain guy who was a jerk or anything like that. She even showed me a picture of him, blah, blah, blah. Apparently he was a bit cocky and it really rubbed her the wrong way. I know from experience and what you talk about in your channel that when women bring up other guys, quite often you should pay attention. Yes, you should. Well, about a month after Christmas, I had to go away for a few days for my job. I've been doing this so long, you can see where this is going. Yes, I read this earlier, but I can see where this is going when I read this story earlier today. I told Jessica that I'd be away and we'd get together when I got back. I like to point out that she still was having problems with the damn Ring camera app. My phone was getting notifications every time her cat walked past her phone, and when she was at school or when someone was walking their dog in front of her camera above her garage. I learned to ignore these notifications and planned to have a sit down with her after I got back about making her solely responsible for the app. Well, there's an idea. But it's a good thing you didn't. Well, one early evening after I finished up having a quick dinner with a client, my phone was going off like crazy. It was the notifications. I normally wouldn't think too much of it as she usually gets home around this time, and it was just her before she turned off the inside camera. He says in parentheses, she finally learned to do that by turning around the camera. So she didn't actually learn how to turn it off. She just turns it around so it's facing the wall or something like that. I decided to take a look at the live footage as more than one of her cameras were repeatedly giving me notifications. What I saw next won't shock any of you. There was Jessica making out with some guy in her living room. Oh, for God's sakes. And she has no idea the freaking camera's on because she's a tech idiot and scatterbrain. Well, it's a good thing you didn't have to sit down with her. That sucks, man. I'm sorry, but, I was both shocked and honestly not shocked at the same time, if that makes any sense. It really seemed like we had a good thing going, and she didn't seem like the type to cheat. Dude, how many guys have said the same exact thing? They seem like that until they do. After watching the footage, it was clear the new teacher, John, who rubbed her the wrong way. Freaking knew it. There you go. She was talking about him a lot. Oh, he's cocky, rubs me the wrong way. She wasn't even dumb enough to show you a picture. It was like she's rubbing it in your face. Well, this is a perfect example of how and why I've remained indifferent over the years with the women who I dated and got involved with. Obviously, it was over, and I had plenty of evidence through the live footage and recordings to bury her. Yeah, remember, through this app, this guy can log recordings of all this stuff, Well, before I decided to call it quits, I decided I wanted to have a little fun with them. You see, for those who do not know, there's a feature with the Ring cameras where you can talk into the app on your phone and they can hear it from the camera inside or outside the house. You can do this from down the street or you can do this on the other side of the world. Yep. Well, I enabled the audio on the app and shouted as loud as I could, "I can see you, Jessica." SSM, the look on their faces was priceless. For one, they fell off the couch that they had relocated to. I could hear them panicking with the audio on. Dude, that's funny. Please tell me you have a recording of this and send it to me. I won't let anybody else see it, for privacy, but I gotta see this. After that, one by one, the cameras went dark. I'm guessing John handled that. However, I'm the one who paid for her membership and had access to all the recorded footage. No way in hell could she figure that out even if I showed her. Well, you got all the evidence, and now anybody challenges your story, you got the proof she's cheating on you. Again, that sucks, dude, but this is kind of funny. I went back and took snapshots and recordings of her shenanigans in case I might need them. I then canceled the membership that I paid for and disabled the app on my phone. Also, within 10 minutes of the event, my phone was ringing off the hook. Oh, gee, who could it be? When I didn't pick up the phone, the text rolled in with the usual crap. I texted her that it was over and do not contact me again. I then shut off my phone and went to the hotel bar for a few drinks. Well, I can't blame you, man. Well, the next morning, I turned on the phone and I had 26 missed calls and 54 texts from her trying to explain. God, you can set your watch to all this crap. Well, I didn't even bother to read the text and deleted them. I then blocked her number and went to the airport. It probably wouldn't have hurt to say again, stay the F away from me, I told you we're done, but what's done is done. Well, to no surprise, when I got home, she was at my house, red in the face and crying. Oh, please, she probably saw your car coming down the street and immediately whipped up some tears and all that. She ran over to my car, and when I got out, and I didn't hesitate to tell her to get the fuck off my property, and if she ever comes here again, I'll call the police. Good job, man. Get right to the point. She probably thought the waterworks would change you. She cried hard, but obviously I could see that I was serious and left the house. When I got to my porch, there was a small box, and inside were the 4 Ring cameras. I'm guessing John took them down. No way she took them down. Well, maybe you can get your money back, or maybe you can set them up around your house. Obviously, you probably have them at your house. We have an extra Ring cameras. Maybe somebody you know might like them. Well, after that, I did not hear from her again. I noticed that she was liking my social media until I blocked her from that too. I told my son about this, and once he knew that I wasn't bothered, he got a good laugh out of the story. Man, obviously your son is very much R-pilled. Good for him. This, guys, is why I have never remarried and why I keep an indifferent, unattached attitude when it comes to the women that I date and get involved with. My only advice to all the guys out there is keep your eyes open for red flags, pay attention if they talk about another guy or guys, and how technology can be your friend. Well, bro, that's a pretty funny story. I'm sorry it happened, but obviously you don't sound too broken up about it. And this is why you haven't remarried. This is why you go in with an indifferent attitude. Some people might say and give you a hard time saying, well, because you have an indifferent, unattached attitude, the women can sense this, and this is why she cheated. And I call bullshit on that. I think the guy could have had a very exact opposite of that, and this same thing would have happened here. But there you go. He thought they had a good thing going. He didn't thought she wasn't the type that would cheat. Do you know how many guys have said that before? And but in this situation, thank the Lord that she was tech stupid. I mean, you gotta be pretty freaking dumb and scatterbrained to bring a guy there. The cameras are there, for heaven's sake, and not even think. Now some people might say maybe she did it on purpose. To call it, that way he could break up with her or something like that, but that doesn't seem like the case. I mean, people are crazy, you never know, but I just really do think that she was that freaking scatterbrained and frankly stupid. But anyhow, her ignorance and stupidity helped save this guy. Well, that's a great story, man. Anyhow, bro, good luck to you, and, anything else, any other stories, definitely send them my way. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a great story you want to share, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.